Hi, this is Casey Newman, and this is my case study for EDL856. So the first category is problem analysis. So looking at the case study of parental apathy, what I do know is that there are no current parent groups at JFK school, that past programs involving parents had been poorly attended, and the principal feels he is in contact with parents through different informal processes, although these are kind of haphazardly managed. Mrs. Rose desires more parental involvement. What I still need to know is the exact school community relations plan. I kind of assume there is none, but because it's not explicitly stated, I would like to know if there is one and it's just not being followed, or kind of just the status of that. The reasons past parent groups are no longer functioning, other strategies the principal has tried in the past, and then just hearing from the parents themselves their own viewpoints regarding involvement. As far as the problem, the main problem is that there's no actual school community relations plan, most likely. And then secondly, the principal seems pretty uninterested in actual parental involvement, which in and of itself is problematic. So my proposed plan of action. First thing is to continue with the parent involvement meeting mentioned in the case study. So while the principal may feel that there are some who are not represented, this can serve as a preliminary meeting which can garner further interest. So continue with that. As that meeting goes forth, ask for parent ideas about involvement. And then it really bothered me that I didn't mention more information about past parent groups. So research what happened to those and then the reasons that they're no longer functional. So as far as strategies go, communication is just really the basis of these. And as far as the principal, Mrs. Rose and the principal may disagree, but the parent meeting should continue, and so I would communicate that with him and remind him of those ISLLC standards, that as educational leaders, that's our job, is to build and sustain relationships with parents and the community. Even if it's out of our comfort zone, or if it's something that we just don't want to do, that's part of our job. And then secondly, parents as adults prefer not to be told what to do, but they have their own ideas, they have their own agendas that they would like to bring, and to a point that's okay, because that gives them ownership in different projects and in the creation of a successful parent program. So if my principal, or my kid's principal, told me to come and serve in the cafeteria, I wouldn't really be very excited, and so I can imagine that this principal's plan to have parents work in the cafeteria was probably met with just as much enthusiasm. So let's not do that. To resolve the issue, we have to ask what is best for students, and we want students to succeed, we want student achievement, and so we want for them a school where they are not only supported by their teachers, but by their parents. Parents already have a vested interest in their child's education, so let's further that with involvement in extracurriculars inside school, even during the school day. So, and that can even open communication between school and home, which, some kids like to try to play the school and their parents against each other, and that might be able to solve some of those problems. But what we're doing is setting high expectations and providing students with a supportive network. And that's ultimately what's going to help them succeed. So to resolve this, you got to continue with the meeting. After that, you send out another message, and we're going to use all means of communication. We're not just going to say, hey, tell your parents. No, we're going to send out an email. We're going to send out physical mail. We're going to send out social media. we're going to utilize different phone systems, so the robocalls or the robotexts, and we're going to get the word out about that next parent meeting. Now, after that initial meeting, though, there certainly needs to be a discussion with the principal about what needs to be done. Principal seems pretty stubborn, so this could be not a very fun conversation, but I think if you spun it to make it seem like it would make teachers' lives easier, because less is expected of them outside of regular school hours, and thus it will make your life easier, Mr. Principal. So explaining that and then looking at new methods of school-parent communication could truly increase student achievement. So to debrief, as I read through, I was very frustrated at first, felt it was just too short, there weren't enough details to do this properly. So then I reread a couple times, and so I kind of then picked up on the reluctance of the principal in regards to parent involvement. And so this really bothered me. I'm like, what happened to these past parent programs? So I also wondered, with this principal, how much would he interfere with Mrs. Rose's plan to increase parental involvement? I still would like to know why those parent programs are gone. Still, it's going to bother me. And we still have to guess the response of the principal and how he's going to tolerate the formation of a parent advisory board or a PTO or whatever. And then we still don't know how the parents are going to respond, so that would be very interesting to find out as well, is at that initial meeting, what did they want? What did they foresee? Why haven't parents been more involved? So those are all things that are still unresolved. Now, as far as collaboration, in going forth with the parent meeting, obviously we are collaborating, and as they contribute their ideas and their expectations, we see further collaboration. Now, that initial meeting, very important, but you also have to think about all those other people who weren't there. So not only with continuing on with the meeting, you're responding and respecting those who took time out of their evening to come, but then in holding additional meetings, you are reaching parents through different mediums, a lot of different technologies, or the good old US mail or a phone call. And I think that parents would appreciate that, because they're all kind of at different levels, and we don't have a lot of background about like socioeconomic statuses or anything like that. So reaching out with different mediums does really respond to diverse needs. And then no man is an island, and that goes for parents too. So when we mobilize parents, we inherently mobilize community resources. Parents are valuable tools because they are always around other community members through work or church or other organizations. And so with a newly instituted parent program, and with hopefully parents getting excited and taking ownership, we see that there will automatically be a community pull into the school community as well. So that is the end. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.